For the past 4 years, Siyafunda Donator Book Foundation has afforded rural villages across the country libraries and books. The initiative has just reached over 40 communities, donating more than 390,000 children's books. Founder Ntokozo Ndlovu has partnered with content producer Ncebo Mahlezana, who's been documenting the initiative #NoRuralChildLeftBehind. While both gentlemen join us here in studio to talk about their upcoming trip to the Eastern Cape. We're going to hear all about how they're changing the landscape and helping to aid early childhood development centers within that village, and of course to chat about the documentary. James, it's great to have you in studio. Thank you so much for coming. Good morning.
Morning. And thank you so much for being part of Siyafunda community and Huawei production team.
Let's talk about the background of this entire initiative. How did it start?
Well, it started in early 2014 and then 2015, where I started doing the book drive for my local library, where I come from, Mpendle Nzinga in KZN, and then I did it on social media, and then yakhula kanjalo. So there were a lot of demands and requests from other disadvantaged schools as well as libraries, and then that's where we are today. We're finding ourselves doing 44 schools today. Yeah.
That is a lot of work, massive effort, and great work on your part. Ncebo, I want to talk about you being a part of documenting this entire initiative and the different phases and experiences that have rolled out. Bring us into your role.
Okay, so we met Ntokozo sometime last year, and then we were introduced to this whole concept of, developing rural schools with early development levels by involving libraries. So we've always done production, on small and a greater scale of life. So when we were introduced to the concept, we jumped into the opportunity firsthand. I mean, you should see how excited these kids get when they receive books. It's almost as how we got excited when we got toys as kids. So that alone fueled the passion to want to shoot the documentary. And we were like, you know what? Let's collaborate and show the world what it takes for NGOs to actually go out there and lend a helping hand.
Ntokozo, when you look at Eastern Cape, the province is in trouble. Whether we're talking education, whether we're talking dilapidated buildings, where school children are expected to learn, there are a lot of issues. How do you go about identifying which school to go to next? Because even when you look at the matric results, there's clearly a big gap that needs to be filled in that province.
Well, it's a difficult process, sis, yabo. But we cannot do everything at the same time. We cannot cover the whole Eastern Cape at the same time, as well as the whole country. But what we are doing is we getting in there, getting in touch or with the communities, and because we believe that they have the solutions. So we go there, we do our research in terms of the schools, as you would know, with the past statistics of the National Educational Infrastructure Management System, that 79% of these rural schools do not have libraries at all. So we believe in that we need to create easy access for these children to have books, that will spark brilliant ideas and develop their minds. So we're going to Eastern Cape now, Bulungula College. It has 5 early childhood development centers. So we're going to give them plus minus 6,000 books, and then do our workshops in terms of the reading and the importance of reading and the book club forming and so on and so on. So we believe that this is where it should start, because our abanye abantwana, when they get to universities, they can't even use a computer, for an example. They can't even read well, and utoluguti, not because they are not bright enough, but it's just because they have difficulty in understanding what they have read.
Sure. Ncebo, doing this collaboration and you being responsible for packaging these stories that you obviously uncover on this journey, what has that taught you? And what would you say is the cry from these communities out to the world? What do you find is that one burning message that these communities want to send out to the global community?
Look, man, I'll go back to my point of how passionate these kids get and how excited it gets when we give them the books. So the opportunity to learn further than what they're granted around them, is what these communities are crying for. The teachers are always out there asking for these donations of books and initiative related to books, because we know once a kid has a book, they have access to the entire world. So that's all that they need. So for us to get to package that, we want to see, or rather to show on a greater scheme about this is what we need to do. We need to work on early childhood development. It's one thing to take a child to university, but if they do not know how to read from a,
the foundation is wrong.
The whole foundation is wrong. So for me and for us, the team as well, we jumped to the opportunity because we wanted to help a greater scheme of people to see over education really is the key, and from the early childhood development stages. So we're hoping even the youth are going to get excited and want to watch this, because we are more of a visual orientated youth, we want to see things rather than read. So if they see, maybe they might be enticed to want to read and give a helping hand to those that want to read.
Fantastic. Just to wrap it up very quickly, if people want to assist you guys in terms of books or resources or money, where can they find the information? How can they get in touch with you? Great question.
Yes, resources. There are 3 things that we are strictly in need of. One, it's the funding. We are self-raising our finance, and secondly is our transportation from these books to these rural schools. And then the third one is the storage for the books. Obviously, we need books. That's our main resource that we always need.
How can people get in touch with you?
Siyafunda donates a book on Twitter. Siyafunda donates a book on Facebook, Instagram, and they can get in touch on our website, info@theweb.org.za.
All right. Thank you, James, for coming, and thank you for your beautiful work touching our communities.
Thank you very much.
For you too.
That was Ntokozo Ndlovu, founder of the Web Foundation Siyafunda Donator Book, and content producer Ngebo Matlezana, speaking to us about the foundation and the hashtag No Rural Child Left Behind documentary. Time for a quick break. Make sure that you support this initiative as well in your own big or small way. When we're back, your sports news.